Hello and welcome to today's English language lesson, live at 3 o'clock here on the AM Language YouTube channel with me, Richie. Hope everyone is doing well. Today, the subject of today's lesson is reported speech, how to speak clearly. So that is what we are going to look at. Leondina says, "Hi, Richard. Good afternoon." Good afternoon, Leondina. I might put in one or two other elements to this lesson as well. Just how you would go about reported speech in a social sense and in a formal sense, because I think it's worth looking at formal and in an informal elements of language, and as well as stress, emphasis stress is in particular something we are going to look at today. Roberto, good afternoon, buon pomeriggio, and welcome to today's lesson. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you are doing well. So. This week so far, well, yesterday we looked at adverbs, and we will be looking at adverbs next week as well, without question. We've also looked at, hello, Arena F, good afternoon. Welcome to today's lesson. Thank you very much for joining. Monday, we looked at the topic of health. Tomorrow, well, tomorrow is Thursday, so tomorrow we're going to look at something called word families. And then Friday will be Film English, Let's Laugh Together. And the thing about Wednesday is that, okay, it's in the middle of the week. But I tend to find that when come Wednesday, all of a sudden, the week begins to weeks can go by very, very quickly at times. And Wednesday, you already begin to think about the weekend when it's a Wednesday. So yeah, I would say time is moving by quite quickly at the moment from week to week. Well, certainly I would say anyway. As always, guys, make sure you follow the lesson in the live chat section and like the video as well. So let's get into it. And when more people join, they can join whenever they join, I suppose. So make sure you follow in the live chat section. Let's get into it. So just to remind ourselves, okay, when we talk about reported speech, if I were to say this here would be direct speech, okay? Direct speech example would be this: I always drink coffee, she said, okay? And then if we want to go with a reported speech, we would change the sentence to this. She said that she always drank coffee. Notice the difference. Notice the difference. If I'm going with direct speech, I am in some way quoting the person word for word. I think I missed out the first quotation marks there, actually. But that's the first thing we need to make sure we understand the difference. We need to understand the difference between direct speech and reported speech. Remember, direct speech is you are saying what the person said word for word. Reported speech is you are reporting, you are saying what the person said, but you're not quoting the person word for word. So the first task is really trying to decide, okay, is this reported speech or direct speech? Okay, so let's go this. Direct speech. This is going to be DR versus reported speech, which we're going to go with RS. Okay. So if you think the answer is direct speech, put DS. If you think the answer is reported speech, you've got to write RS. Okay. Doesn't matter what the tense is, this isn't going to change. So let's see how you guys do. Let's go for this one. Okay, so let's start off. This is A. Yuli Romero Garzion. Hello, Yuli. Welcome to today's lesson and welcome to the channel. If this is your first time, make sure you subscribe and thank you very much. Please make sure, by the way, guys, join the lesson in the live chat section because that's where the action happens. You guys make the lesson. So let's go with A. Like I said, guys, wait till I put up all the answers and then tell me which ones are direct speech, which ones are reported speech. Okay, we've got two examples at the top over here. Direct speech, I always drink coffee, she said, and reported speech, she said that she always drinks coffee. Actually, just realized that should have an S on it. She said she always drinks coffee. That should have an S on it. Apologies, there's a typo there. So, A, he explained that he was reading a book. B, I am reading a book, he explained. C, Bill arrived on Saturday, he said. D, he said that Bill had arrived on Saturday. Next one. E, I have been to Spain, he told me. F, he told me that he had been to Spain. Let's do two more. G, he explained that he had just turned out the light. Turned out the light. I'm going to change that. Sorry. Let me write that one again. G, turned out, turned off. Just turned off the light. And H. He explained that he had just turned off the light, and H, I had just turned off the light, he explained. So let me know which ones you think are direct speech, which ones are reported speech. Remember, direct speech, you are quoting the person word for word, and that should give you an idea about the pronoun being used. Reported speech is when you are saying what the person said and you're not quoting word for word. Therefore, your pronoun has to change. So Leondina says A is reported speech, B is direct speech, C is direct speech, D is reported speech, E is direct speech, F is reported speech, and G is reported speech, and H is direct speech. Roberto, it looks like Roberto has very similar answers. Arena F, okay, you two, okay, I can see that you have similar answers. And Yuli says, yes, this is her first time. Well, welcome to the channel, Yuli, and thank you for joining. Okay, let's go through the answers. I'm going to start off with the answers for direct speech because I think that's the best way to go about this. Answers. So let's start off with DR, okay? So direct speech. Okay, so B, C, E, B, C. So we've got B, C, E, and H. All of those are direct speech. Reported speech. Sorry, misspelled speech. Reported speech, we have A, D, F, and G. So we've got A, D, F, and G. That should be correct. So for those of you who got it right, well done. Now, I'm going to focus now primarily on reported speech. Why is reported speech so important? Well, quite simply, you are saying what someone else said. This is why we need to get the pronoun right and why we shouldn't confuse the sentence. For instance, if I said, for instance, let's say, is this good English? I'm going to start off with this. Is this good English? Let's start off with this question. Actually, let me just change something about that. Because we don't want quotes, because we're not quoting the person word for word. So we're saying, she said I could never go back. Actually, let me just change that one last time. I don't want a comma here. So is this good English? She said I could never go back. She's talking about herself. Is this correct? Is this good English or is this bad English? So if you think it's good, just write good. If you think it's bad, just tell me it's bad. Is this correct? She said I could never go back. She's talking about herself. What do you guys think about this one? Leondina says it's bad. If you agree with Leondina, let me know. If you think it's good, let me know. She said I could never go back. Okay, good. You're all saying bad. And the answer is yes, it is bad. Because really and truly, if she's talking about herself and I'm reporting what she said, then this of course should be she said she could never go back. Okay, good. And that's one of the most important things. We must get the pronoun right. If we get the pronoun wrong in reported speech, we are not going to be understood. That's why it's so important. So make sure you get make sure you get the pronoun right. Okay. Next, which of these sentences are correct? Let's go for it. So So we've got 7 sentences here. Um, which of these sentences are correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1. She say me she was unwell. 2. She told to me she was unwell. 3. She said she was unwell. 4. She told me she was unwell. 5. They say this rubbish all the time. 6. They tell this rubbish all the time. 7. They tell people this rubbish all the time. Noelia, hello, good afternoon. Don't worry, not to worry. Thank you for joining. We're looking at reported speech. So, which of these sentences are correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which ones do you think are correct? After this, we'll move on to just how to talk about things between formal and informal. And then we'll look at emphasis stress, how to speak clearly, because that needs to be looked at as well. Roberto says 1 is wrong, 2 is wrong, 3 is correct, 4 is correct, 5 is correct, 6 is wrong, and 7 is correct. Leondina says 3, 4, 5, and 7, which I think those are the exact same answers as Roberto. I'll give you guys I'll give people 30 more seconds, and then I'll confirm the answers. Okay, so I'll give, let's say, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Evelina, good afternoon. Welcome to the lesson. Thank you very much for joining. So you've said 1 and 6 is wrong. Excellent. Well done. So answers. Well, I'm very pleased to see here that I think you guys got these ones right. So here are the answers. Let's make sure I haven't missed anything out. Okay, yeah. So 3, 4, 5, and 7 are correct. Well done. Very happy with that. I'm glad you guys got that one right. It's really important that we get that correct. So now let's move on to informal and formal. Which language here looks formal and which language looks more informal? Okay. Well, actually, we're going to break it down into 2 categories. So you got informal slash semi-formal, and you've got more formal language. Okay, so for informal and semi-formal are a little bit of both, really, and then you've got formal. So here are the following: A, capital A. B. Okay. So let's have a little look at this. A, B, C, D, E, and F. Um, Now, what are we looking at here? Formal or semi-formal or informal? Now, you'll notice that some of these that are semi-formal are still fine because they are semi-formal. They can even be used in the formal sense, perhaps. But some are definitely informal. Some are definitely formal, and some are in between. Sometimes you have to look at the rest of the language as well. Okay, let's see what we're saying. So A, we're saying is formal. B is semi-formal, C is semi-formal, D is formal, E is informal, and F is informal. Okay, Noelia, thank you very much. Roberto says A, B, E, F, and is informal, and semi-formal is C, D. Oh, sorry, C and D are formal, and A, B, E, F are informal. Okay. Well, I'm going to go with this because I think this perhaps explains this the best. Okay. Leondina, A formal, B informal, C formal, D formal, E informal, F informal. Okay, so let's go with this as answers. A. Okay, now A is definitely formal because you're using the word explained and the context. Uh, B, yeah, B is semi-formal. Now, more than informal, because you're still talking about. It sounds like you're still talking about something maybe work related. He said it would be difficult. He hasn't used any words like got or get sort of thing. So I would say that is very much semi-formal, meaning you can use it in a formal setting and you could use it in an informal setting. It would be fine. C, she informed us that the delivery was going to be late. Absolutely. C is. Oh, sorry. I just realized something. Oh, let me change. I just realized something. Oh, one of the answers wrong. That's no good. C. C is formal. Let me make sure. Yes. Okay, sorry. I just got that one wrong. Sorry. C is definitely formal because the person has used, she informed us that the delivery was going to be late. The context is clearly something to do with business, and we've gone in with the word informed. So that's going to be formal. Uh, D, formal, absolutely, because we've gone in with the word notified. They notified us, they would call us later. That's fine. E and F, definitely informal. You're using this, what we would call, this is very much everyday social language. She told me that you said you didn't like her. The context is also informal. F, he said that you told her that she got really angry. Again, the context is informal. The way we're using the language is informal. So those are the correct answers. A is formal. B, semi formal. C, formal. D, formal. E and F are informal. So well done. Okay, so what I would like you guys to do here before we get on to looking at how to speak clearer in terms of emphasis stress, let's see. I'm going to ask you guys to change the following sentences. I want you to complete the following sentences, and you need to complete them in a formal style. Okay, so complete sentences below in a formal style. Okay. You can choose your own words. So A. B. and C. Okay, guys, so choose your language to try and complete these sentences in a more formal style. Uh, Try and not use the same word twice, but let's see what you guys come out with. If you find this a little bit too difficult, feel free to try and complete it in a semi-formal way. But you've got plenty of examples in the in the previous task, A, B, C, D, E, and F, and then we'll move on to pronunciation and emphasis stress and how to make yourself be understood clearly, because that's important. We do need to make ourselves understood clearly, and for that we need to concentrate on our speech, really. So let's see what you guys come out with. What words do you choose to complete A, B, and C? A, B, C. She blank, she would call John later. There's an N missing in John, but never mind, to discuss the details. B, he blank, them that there was a problem with the documents. And C, they blank, that the Wi-Fi won't work because XYZ. Noella says informed, explained, justified. You know what? I quite like that, Noella. I'm not sure about the context for C, because justified is potentially. I'm going to give it to you, Noella, because we don't have the complete context. So there are certain contexts where you could use the word justified. So on that grounds, I'm going to accept that answer because it actually can be used. And if we were to know more about the context of that sentence, it might very well work. So yes, I'm going to give that to you. Leondina says she explained she would call John later to discuss the details. B, he informed them that there was a problem with the documents. And C, they announced that the Wi-Fi won't work because. Okay, I'll accept announced as well. That could work. Yuli says informed, notified, explained. Yes, absolutely. I would say because C is technically a technical problem, I am going to encourage you to use explained. I mean, put it this way, if there's a problem and someone is explaining the problem, it's good to go with explained. So that's why I would encourage you to go with explained for C. Noella says, do we always have to use that? Good question. They explained the Wi-Fi won't work. No, you don't always need to use that. That can be left out most of the time. Sometimes it's useful because you might want to include it because of emphasis stress, which is now what we're going to talk about. But no, you don't. You don't always need to include that. So, what answers would I go with? A. I would go with informed. But if you've used others that I've said are okay, then well done. B. I'd go with notified, and C. Explained. Those would be my answers. I would like to emphasize this point again. Yes, you could use justified, potentially words like announced as well. But like I said, when someone explained that or tried to explain why there is a problem, it's best to go with explained. Having said that, it's not the only correct answer you could use. So now we move on to emphasis stress. Okay, make yourself understood. Now, standard, I'm just going to come out with a standard sentence, okay? Um, let's say we go with, okay, let's say we go with this sentence here. We're going to go with, this is technically called a conditional continuous. That's not important. So, when we're looking at normal stress, okay, the normal stress, we in this case, we would say the stress would come on Friday, okay? Normal stress, okay? Friday. She said that she would be using the car next Friday. Typically speaking, when in a normal sentence, normal utterance, technically, we stress the last word in that utterance, okay? That sentence. But emphasis stress changes the stress. We change the word that we are choosing to emphasize. You emphasize the word that you think is the most important in order to make sure the other person understands your main point that you think they might not have understood. So, for example, if we highlight she, we are emphasizing she said this. She said she's saying she would be using the car next Friday. Now, why might we be highlighting she? It's because we're emphasizing that she is the person who's going to use the car next Friday. So the answer to this is she is emphasizing that she is the person who is going to drive the car next Friday. Okay, and that would be the answer. So I am now going to write some uh, example sentences where I'm going to change the emphasis. The emphasis is always going to be in capitals. You need to link them to the meaning. Why are we emphasizing that word? So just like over here, I've emphasized, she said she would be using the car. By emphasizing she, I'm saying, I'm stressing that she is the person who is going to drive the car next Friday. Not him, not them, not John, not Sarah, she. I don't know why I pointed to me. She. So let's go for it. So we're still using this sentence, okay? We are still using this sentence. Okay? Now, let's go for it. So A. B. Whoops, I forgot to put B. And C. Link them to their meanings. 1. Okay, 2. And 3. Cool. Okay, guys. So A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Link them. Link the sentences with the emphasis to the meaning of the emphasis. Why would we change the emphasis? From a spoken point of view, you would say, for instance, A would be, let's see. Oh, wait a minute. I've put B twice. Sorry. I don't know why I put B twice. Just to remind you, the first B is actually meant to be A. I was not aware I'd made that mistake. Okay, so the one with next as the emphasis, that's supposed to be A. Okay, so A, she said she would be using the car next Friday. She said she'll be using the car next Friday. Notice next Friday. The stress is there. Next Friday. B, she said she would be using the car next Friday. She said she'll be using the car next Friday. Notice the voice goes up. To emphasize, your voice goes up in this case because you're still going down at the end of your sentence, but the emphasis stress, your intonation, your voice has to go up. And C, she said she would be using the car next Friday. Now, what it says, A goes with 2, B goes with 3, C goes with 2. Leondina, A goes with 2, B goes with 3, C goes with 1. Okay, so slight change there. Or is it the same answer? No, I think this is meant to be the same answer. Okay, so Noella's given me the two answers that are the same. Okay, right. Let's see, Noella. I'm going to give you a chance just to correct. Do you want to change A or do you want to change C? Okay, so you've gone with. Okay, so you've changed C. Okay, let's see what the correct answers are. Because we're coming to the end of the lesson. So A, we've got she said she would be using the car next Friday. You guys have said that's 2, emphasizing that the car would be used next Friday. Okay, yes, that makes absolutely sense. That's why we are emphasizing next. Okay, B, you guys said it goes with 3. Let's see. So she said she would be using the car next Friday, emphasizing that she's talking about the car. Correct. And then you guys said C goes with 1, which that would have to be the case at this point. She said she would be using the car next Friday, emphasizing the positive meaning in the sentence. Correct. And once again, guys, I'd just like to. Usually, this is easier to explain with a board, but remember, where you choose to emphasize, that's where your voice goes up. So, in this case, we've got A. She said she would be using the car next Friday. Next Friday. Okay. With B, she said she would be using the car next Friday. She said she would be using the car next Friday. Car next Friday. And then when it comes to C, she said she would be using the car next Friday. In this case, we're still at the end. It's still going to be the car next Friday. It's a small one. She said she would be using the car next Friday. She said she would be using the car next Friday. So you're still, even if you put the stress early on, you're still going to have to go up and down a little bit because this is English. But the strongest one is the word you are emphasizing, and that is how to be clearer when you use reported speech. Choose the word you're going to emphasize and make it clear. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Like the video if you enjoyed the lesson, and if you are new, subscribe. And if you know that if you know people who are looking to learn English, thinking about learning English, share the channel, share the videos. So a big thank you to Noelia, sorry, Leondina, Yuli, Leondina, Roberto, Evelina, Irina F, and anyone else who's been watching and taking part. So thank you very much. Roberto says, thank you, Richie. Stay safe and enjoy your evening. You too, Roberto. Leondina says, thank you, Richard. As usual, an enjoyable lesson. See you tomorrow. You're welcome, Leondina. Well done. Thank you for joining. So yes, guys, I'll be back tomorrow, same time, 3 o'clock. And tomorrow we are looking at word families, I believe. Evelina says, thank you and have a great evening. Bye. You're welcome. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Have a great evening, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 3 o'clock with another live lesson. Take care, be safe, enjoy the weather if you are in Malta, because the weather's pretty good at the moment. Okay, bye for now.